What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus Ally X gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we're gonna try to play ourselves some Black Myth Wukong. Now, I played it on the Steam Deck OLED already, and it was playable-ish, but you had to have frame gen on, and we all know it's not really getting the frame rates it says it's getting. You're getting like 25 to like 33, and dropping all the way down into the teens in the more demanding parts. So, in this video, we will do the normal 1080p high, 900p medium, and 720p low, and then on 720p low, we'll also add in a little bit of some frame gen gameplay too, just because I know some people love the frame gen and all that. I'm not a big fan of it, but hey, just because I don't like it doesn't mean I can't test it for people, right? So that's what we'll do at the end. So this is probably gonna be a little bit longer video, but that's okay. I'm enjoying the hell out of playing this game. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get it hooked up to the capture computer, and let's go see how this guy handles the game.
All right, here with his Ally X, we're gonna start off like usual here. We're gonna try 1080p base, and then with the settings on high, but we're still gonna use FSR. So it's not really 1080p. But in any case, let's go quickly run a benchmark, and then we'll get a little bit of gameplay, so long as the benchmark doesn't say we're getting like 5 FPS or something like that. All right, well, we averaged 24, got a max of 28, and a minimum of 19, with a low fifth of 20, using 5.9 gigs of VRAM. But yeah, I wouldn't really call that playable myself, but I don't know, some people out there might, so I'll play a little bit there just for fun. I don't think it's going to be very great looking or very good, but hey, we'll still give it a shot. All right, here we are in the game. And yeah, definitely not even getting 30 FPS, but not surprising after seeing that benchmark. But some people still might be able to play like this, so I figured why not get a little bit of gameplay here. But yeah, I worked hard on these basically all day. It is now 12:40 a.m. And I still have to get all these voiceovers done and edit all the videos and turn them into actual videos. Plus, I still had a bunch of voiceovers I didn't finish from a bunch of Wolfenstein videos I was making on the handhelds and the mini PC yesterday. So I gotta finish that later too. I figured I could just like do the voiceovers for those while I'm waiting for the one thing to encode. I don't even know if I can do that with how quick the frickin' thing is. I probably won't even get done with all of them. I'll have to do them in little bursts, because it only takes like 6-7 minutes usually for my computer to encode one of these things, even if it's like a 25-minute video. Anything from like 1825, yeah, it's like 5 to 8 minutes. Under 10. You really have to push it. Ooh, what's this? Alright, I don't know what the hell that is, but hopefully I'll figure it out. But yeah, you really have to push it to the max to like 40-minute video or one of my hour-long videos for it to like take like 20 minutes or something. And even that's like nothing for a 4K 200 megabit per second bitrate video. It's also 10-bit, which is the whole reason I had to upgrade to the paid-for version anyway, which came with a bunch of other nifty benefits. What is that? Oh, it's just a rabbit. I thought that was some kind of thing I could, like some enemy or something that was like trying to hide and be like, well, I'm gonna get you. And I was like, fuck you, I'm gonna get you first. But no, it was Bush Bunny. We don't need to kill the bunny. Nope, nothing right there. I thought that might have been one of those things, but I don't want to use that anyway, even if I do find another one of those incense things. I want to keep coming back from that one we started at. Some frog guy. Ah, damn it, he blew up on me. I have to try to remember that. Anything else down here? Nope, looks like that's just about that. Anyway, let's try 900p. Now we would do a base of 900p, but we're still gonna use FreeSync. Not FreeSync, but FSR. We can't really get by without that. Native doesn't really work. Like maybe if we put it down to 720p, we could do native and stay above 30, but we're not even going to try ray tracing. That would be like probably, what, 2 FPS? Probably not even that. It'd probably just fail load, honestly. Or get 1 FPS and then take like 30 minutes just to get through the benchmark. So we're not doing that. Anyway, though, let's go see how this one does, though. So this time we got an average of 32, a maximum of 37, but we still got a minimum of 23, and a low 5, or 5th of 27. So we're still not going to probably stay over 30 the whole time, but hopefully this will at least be somewhat playable now. But hey, let's go find out. All right, here we are, 900p, still with FSR, so I don't know what that equates to in reality. And we're on medium settings now. So definitely so far a lot more playable. And we still don't have frame gen on. At least I don't think I turned that on yet. Yeah, just barely skating by at playable frame rates here. For me, 30 is the absolute bare minimum. I don't really want to play at anything under that. Like if it drops every once in a blue moon, not the end of the world. That even happened to me on my Steam Deck with Elden Ring. Every once in a while it would drop down to like 28, 29. But not very often, so I just look past it. Especially since I was just playing and like leveling up on that one. I wasn't really trying to do anything too crazy. I don't think I would have tried beating bosses on it, though I'm sure plenty of people did. That thing was, honestly, pretty good at games like that. You just can't expect to max the game out and turn ray tracing on and all that shit on and expect 60 FPS. That's not going to happen on the Steam Deck. Hell, that's not going to happen on this thing either. This thing's quite a bit more powerful than the Steam Deck. And now it's got the battery life, so you can not have to neuter it just to get decent battery life. Like, even if you leave it at 25 turbo, you can still beat out the Steam Deck OLED in most games. I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule, of course. And then if you start limiting stuff and playing like 8-bit games or something, who knows which one would come out on top. Even though the Steam Deck's got a lower battery, it might be able to get by with having a more battery efficient screen if you play something that's like dark, a really dark kind of game. OLED's just a lot better on battery. However, if you play something bright and vibrant, then OLED is terrible compared to LCD. It uses way more electricity. So it completely depends. A lot of people just has the misconception that OLED is just better on power. Completely depends. And this thing's got VRR, which is nice. OLED seems to have an issue with flickering with VRR. I can notice it if I look for it really fucking hard, but I just keep it on my OLEDs. It doesn't flicker enough for me to really get bothered by it, but that's just me. Other people are more susceptible to that. And my eyes are pretty damn good. I can see, like, whenever they do those fast movement things on TV shows, I usually see whatever they're talking about just fine. I don't need it slowed down or anything. Alright, let's see. Do we have some ginseng for me to pick up? Looks like there was some, but I think I walked right by it like a noob. But that's okay. It's time for us to now move on to 720p. Now we shall do a base resolution of 720p. I do not remember what I put the FSR on for this one, so I guess we'll find that out over in the graphics tab. Oh, pretty much native resolution. 98%, so we're like 2% away from being native. And we got everything on low. So, let's run a bench, see what it gets, and then we'll get a little gameplay after that. Well, here we go. The benchmark is all finished. We got an average of 44, a max of 55, but we got a minimum of 30. So hopefully we'll stay over 30 in almost all instances in the game, and then a low fifth of 38. With a total VRAM used of 5.2, and then you've got the rest of the graphic settings and all that good stuff. So now, let's go see how it actually feels and looks to play in the game. So here we go now with it on low, 720p. It was like almost 720p. It's at like 98% of its resolution. So we're just going to call it 720p. And definitely looking like playable FPS. The game does not look very impressive anymore, all blown up like this. But if I remember correctly, it doesn't look that awful on the screen itself. Although lighting definitely could be better. Since it's on low, the lighting's not very good. Oh, I remember what happened here. My cat came in and wanted attention, so I gave her a couple pets, thinking I was good to just keep walking, but no. Second I went down to pet her, I started walking into a tree like a moron. Nope, I can't jump on the top of that. I wanted to see if I could, though. You gotta have fun with these games and try out silly things like that sometimes. Alright, I think it's time for a hit. It's been quite a while since I've had one. It's called like King Louis the 13th or something like that. It's like 32% THC. And it's not frosted or anything. Sometimes they'll like put a bunch of THC crystals all over some lower quality weed and then be like, dude, it's like 60% THC, and they're not technically lying with all that frosting they put all over it. But then you try to smoke it and it doesn't really taste like much. It tastes mostly like hash. Which makes sense since hash is mostly just a bunch of, crystals that fell off of all the buds. But a much more pure form without as much just random leaf matter. Or at least that's how I had it explained to me. Maybe I had it explained to me wrong. Who knows? All I know is I'm excited to play this game for real. But like what I thought happened, I got to my secondary computer and I guess I played on too many, and Denuvo told me to go fuck myself. So instead I was like, alright, well, I guess I'll just start doing the voiceovers then. And I'll finish the other stuff after midnight, unfortunately, tomorrow. So I guess, shit. Thursday. Yeah, I guess I'll have to start on Thursday after midnight. Probably wait till like midnight 15 or something like that. Just to make sure I don't reset the thing and it's like, aha, well now you have to wait another 24 hours, bitch. Anyway, to camera. That's right, it's not time for camera yet. I wanted to try frame gen out real quick. So we're still at a base of 720p. And now it said 97 versus 98%, but we're still basically at 720p. But I turned frame gen on, left everything else on low. So now let's go see a benchmark real quick, and we'll see what it says. Although, since this is fake frames, it's a lie, but I'm still curious. And so are other people. All right, well, we averaged 69 FPS. Nice. Got a max of 82, a minimum of 52, and a low fifth of 61. Still the same 5.2 gigs of VRAM used, and everything else is basically the same besides that little thing that says frame gen on. That's all we really changed here. So, with that, let's go get into the game. Hey, it actually says 96 for super resolution now. Now we've got frame gen on, so let's run around again. It says we're getting like 80 FPS, but remember, we're not actually getting 80 FPS. But I will say, since we were a lot closer to 60 than we were on like the Steam Deck, for example, it definitely feels like it actually did a little something, maybe. Though I guess that could also be placebo. Placebo is a fucking hell of a thing after all. But usually when I use frame gen, I don't really feel any like smoothness. It looks smoother if I watch it, but usually I don't really feel any like input improvements from like either my controller or my mouse. In fact, half the time I get a latency increase, it feels like. But again, maybe that's just a reverse placebo where I'm like, oh man, I don't really like frame gen, so I'm just gonna, no matter what, see it in a bad light, and I'm just gonna like, oh man, it's always making everything worse. You know, that could be it too. And there's no way I can prove that. I don't have all the right stuff to really test frame gen out on like a scientific level. And I don't really want to be one of those channels anyway. There's plenty of way well-established channels that are way better at that than I could ever be. So I'll just stick with my cool little niche thing. Besides, I like being able to just play a bunch of random games. Obviously, this is a super popular one that everyone else is playing, but a lot of the other times I just play a bunch of like indie games that people suggest and want to see how they run and whatnot. Or I'll just go, oh, that's an old game, never played it before, let's fucking get it. Oh, and it's old, let's see how the Steam Deck runs it or something, for example. It's fun. I just enjoy doing this. Even though I don't make a single penny off this. And I probably won't for a long time, if ever. And that's okay. I got plenty of money already. I do not need a bunch of money from YouTube. Now, would I sit there and go, oh, gross, money from YouTube? Hell no. But I'm not going to sit here and lust after it and be like, all right, well, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing except for stuff that could potentially make me money. Nope, I'm just going to do stuff that's fun. Oh, looks like there's more stuff to harvest. Jade Lotus. But heck, if you're going to use FrameGen, you could probably even turn some settings up. But just remember, you're not really getting the frames you think you're getting. But, regardless, if it's playing to your expectations, fuck what everybody says. Just enjoy your game, that's what I always say. The only time I'll correct people is if people say, well, I'm playing at 4K with DLSS on performance and with FrameGen, and I'm getting blah, blah, blah frame. And I'm like, no. You're not at native 4K, first off. And FrameGen is not real. So you're not getting those frames. That's about the only time I'll ruin people's fun, is when they're trying to, like, actively brag and spread misinformation. I'm not a big fan of misinformation. That's why if I accidentally do something wrong, I try to, like, immediately tell you guys immediately, hey, I fucked up on this. Anyway, though, now camera. Alright, now for some camera recorded gameplay here. We're still on low with FrameGen on and all that stuff, so. Now, obviously, if you're going to use FrameGen and all that goodies, you could probably turn a couple settings up a little and not have to run every single setting on low. But we all know we're not really getting 70 FPS right now either. But at least the game, at least 900p, that thing seemed to stay above 30 most of the time. I mean, I think the minimums were like 28 or something like that. It's interesting how some of this comes back sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. I don't even know why I bothered grabbing it, seeing as I'm just going to restart the game when I play this for real anyway, but I don't know. It's a force of habit. I see something I can pick up in a game, I just do it. Whether I'm just doing a benchmark run or whatever. Yeah, one time I got something from this head, but that one hasn't come back yet. That's probably like a one-time only thing. Would be my guess. Kind of crazy. The water looks pretty good no matter what settings you use. But the rest of the terrain looks a little soft, even on the Ally screen, but it doesn't look nearly as bad as it did all blown up for the screen recorded portion. And yeah, I'm actually impressed. I figured this game was going to be an absolute stutter fest, but even on something like this, it's pretty smooth. Has a tiny little transversal stutter every once in a while. But other than that, it seems pretty damn smooth. It's great. Wish more games could be like that. Nope, no ginseng this time. Alright, we can finally go a little bit past this part. But if there's like a shrine or something, I just purposely won't hit it. Because I want to keep going back to that other one. There was a little bit of that transversal stutter I was talking about. And even when it happens, it's barely noticeable. Hey, finally something to fight. Take that. Looked like something to grab over there, but nope. Oh, so we're supposed to go that way, but what's over here real quick first? Alright, so that's would probably autosave if I did that. So I purposely won't do that because I want to go to the same spot on all the rest of the computers and run around. That way it's comparable. So I should go through there, but for now I'm just going to run around in this area a little bit more. I don't want to be in like the middle of a boss fight or something when I get to the end of my camera recorded gameplay, which is already close to 5 minutes anyway, so... Anyway, though, that's pretty much 5 minutes by the time I get done yakking at Proby, so why don't we go ahead and go wrap this video on up?
Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Black Myth Wukong on the Asus Ally X, and at 900p and 720p medium and low settings it seems pretty playable. 1080p high was a little bit too much. Now obviously if you turn frame gen on it would say you were probably getting over 30, but we all know you're not really. Same thing with the camera recorded portion. That wasn't really getting 80 FPS and all that stuff. That was frame gen on. But even with it off it was still getting way more than 30 FPS. Didn't look the best, but you could probably fiddle with the settings and not have to have everything on low. You could probably put a couple things on medium, hell, maybe even a thing or two on high and still stay over 30. Just not ray tracing. I didn't even bother with that because I already knew that would have been like a 10 FPS experience. So that's why I did not do that one. We will try that out on the Asus G15 Advantage and up though. It still will probably suck on it, but we'll at least try it. But in any case, it's time to move on to that little Firebat mini PC, which is honestly probably going to be the worst out of all the systems. It'll probably do even worse than the Steam Deck, but hey, maybe it'll surprise me. I think it's 4 gigs of RAM limitation is going to bite it in the ass in this kind of a new game, but hey, we will see what it does. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this video though, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys. And until the next video, peace out, guys.